Hello and welcome to this new moon ritual session. I thought this would be a really fun way of connecting with you, even though we're not able to do a live stream this month. For me, I thought this was kind of the next best thing. So, welcome. I've poured myself a little bit of tea. This is some cranberry, rose, and St. John's wort. I charged it, so I'm going to be drinking this throughout. Pour yourself a cup of something nice and let's get started on this ritual. So, happy new moon in Libra. If you're watching this on the day that we upload, then welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing as well as possible. For this, I just wanted to do something a little bit supportive. We're going to start by lighting a little bit of sage. Something supportive for this new moon. I've been really loving our live streams, and I wanted to make sure that we could do something together here. So hopefully you're able to kind of hang out. So just lighting some of this sage. So I want to start off by just doing some clearing. And so we're doing this ritual together here. I'm going to be doing my ritual, and hopefully you're able to join. On behalf of my highest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I cleanse this space to make room for beautiful new energy, clearing anything that's not in service of my most aligned self, and to invite a sense of protection into this ritual, sense of alignment and protection. Gorgeous. I like starting out with a little bit of clearing for all of my rituals. So we're going to let that just kind of smolder away here. Like so. Now I have some of this aura mist. And this is a lavender aura mist. I just wanted to invite in some calming, soothing energy into this space. I've just needed a little bit of energetic support and some calm. I've had kind of a crazy few weeks, I suppose. So just inviting in some calm, soothing energy here. If you have anything like an essential oil, this can be a great time to just pop that on the pads of your fingers and just kind of anoint yourself. Place that on the back of your ears. Just spraying the space. Gorgeous. So, this can be a great time to invite in balance and harmony. This is also a great time for this new moon in Libra to connect with our goals, to connect with all of our kind of personal pursuits, specifically regarding compromise, regarding communication, inviting a balance between standing up for yourself and for your beliefs, and also inviting compassion for others. So before we kind of begin to do some journaling, just wanted to start out with that as a kind of basis for where we're moving from here. That tea is really nice. Okay. We've sort of spoken about journaling and using a journal to connect with the moon cycles in whatever way. It's helpful for reflection, which is a great aspect of these moon cycles. It's so helpful for connecting and recognizing patterns, and for manifesting, putting it from within to the without. Journaling can be just really, really powerful for recognizing different patterns, for seeing how we can manifest, to see how our manifestations have been working, to connect with the affirmations that we've needed, where we wanted to release, what we've been able to release, what we've been able to manifest. That can help us understand where certain blockages might still be. So it's all really helpful information, and I think keeping it in one place, and especially this was a gift and from a friend, and I really love it. And when you have something that's a bit special and feels kind of like a sacred little space for you, I always find that helpful in every aspect of my personal spiritual practice. So we can go on ahead and do some reflections now. Quiet time, a little bit of quiet time, and kind of look through where we were during the last cycle. You can also, during this time, look where you were during the previous new moon in Libra. You can look where you were during the full moon in Libra. You can look, 6 months prior, a year prior. You can look 2 weeks prior, a month prior. It's whatever you are connecting with, or you can kind of do a reflection on all of that, depending on how much time you have and what you're moving through. Okay, so let's look here. Little reading corner here. All right. Okay. Lovely. Yeah. It's interesting looking back and seeing how, especially I find the things that you want to release, kind of how the universe offers that up to be released. The release usually comes in the form of challenges. So there's a lot, usually when you're calling in things to be released, there's a lot of resistance. Or energetically it can feel like there's a lot of resistance, because breaking through that blockage it takes a lot of kind of fortitude and a lot of momentum. So, all right, let's see. Great. Lovely. Okay. So let's go on and do a little bit of journaling here together. If you would like to connect with what you've been really grateful for this past month, let's kind of focus on where we were this time last month. So for those of you who were here for the last new moon live stream, you know a lot of you were moving through some more intense things. We celebrated a lot of great things together. There was some health stuff that we were moving through, some personal things that we were moving through. And for this, I just want to kind of invite in a real sense of strengthening our relationships. I think that can be really powerful during Libra. This energy of reevaluating our relationships and seeing where we might need to add some care and attention to one side of the scale and where we might need to kind of redistribute attention on the other side. So just kind of taking stock and inviting a sense of gratitude for any of our wins this past month. What are you wanting to celebrate? And hopefully if you're able to share these in the comments, or potentially if I'm able to do a premiere with this, then share in the live chat. Let's share some of our things that we want to celebrate. How do you want to be kind of rallied on? What do you want to be celebrated for? So we're going to start here. I'm going to write my gratitudes for this new moon in Libra 2021. A little tea break. Hopefully you were able to connect with some things that you're grateful for. So this is a great time to manifest strong, harmonious friendships and partnerships like we spoke about. We might even feel a strong pull to kind of cultivate a community of strength and support. That might be something that you're already called to do in this manifestation. Maybe you're feeling a kind of, I don't want to say lack, but maybe you're just feeling that pull, that energetic pull towards connecting with others at this time. Libran energy is also great for kind of a principled stance that doesn't hurt or offend. So if you are someone with a sharp tongue, you could use this opportunity with the energy of this new moon to manifest a gentler approach to conflict. And all of this takes effort. So be prepared for this moon cycle to put in the work with regards to communication and those partnerships, those friendships. So let's reflect now on what you would like to release for this new moon. We've connected with what we're grateful for, and now if you want to connect with what you would like to release, what you'd like to let go of, what you'd like to offer up energetically to be recycled and renewed for this beautiful new energy to come in. So, release. What do we want to release? You know, if we're celebrating things that have been successful, what manifestations have worked, have been smooth for you, which I always love hearing. I absolutely love hearing when you tell me certain manifestations have worked and really come to fruition in the previous cycle. That's one of my favorite things. I love that for you. And it really means that you're connecting with what you want and recognizing that you're worthy of it. So let's just connect with what we want to release. Again, this can kind of be a more challenging aspect. This release can come with a lot of resistance. There can be a lot of, are you really sure you want to let that go? You know, when you're kind of offering something up to be released. Very often the energy that we get back is like, are you sure? You sure about that? So if you found that, I'd love to hear it, because that's just a really common thing. We chat about that quite often, where there's something that you've really been trying to let go of, or if you just are, kind of trying to offer that up to be released during the new moon or the full moon, but particularly the full moon, I find when you're doing that, offering it up to be released, very often those challenges will start to open up and present themselves to you, because that's the way to release it. That's the opportunity. It's providing opportunities for you to release. But through those opportunities, there can be a decent amount of resistance because we're so entrenched in our way in that pattern. So that's just going to take some strength and some fortitude and putting in the work. All right, so let's just connect. Place my hand on my heart here with what we want to release. Okay, so this new moon happens to fall right in the middle of our last Mercury retrograde of 2021. So this affects communication, technology, travel, and it can really throw our relationships off kilter. So it's even more important to connect to and practice our communication, speaking, listening, and retaining that information, our compassion, and our connection to the truth. Oh, I love that. Such a treat, that little blend. It's so earthy and yummy. So this can be a great time for releasing any blockages related to time, to timing, such as procrastination or maybe poor time management. Releasing anything to do with resentment could be really helpful here with this energy. Inviting compassion not only for yourself but also for others who may seem kind of awkward or confusing at this time, which is pretty common. During these retrogrades, we're probably going to have some awkward interactions, maybe be revisited from the past. So try to have compassion for yourself and compassion for others. Double check, communication. And also, I know this might sound over the top or silly, but if you know you're going to meet up with someone or have a kind of meeting where there's going to be communication involved, which most meetings would have communication, regardless of the nature of them, I think it can be a helpful time to do a little bit of a warm-up, a vocal warm-up, do some tongue twisters. Or just start to go, You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing kind of like horse lips. Just using this dragon's blood sage, just like crushed to make this red color. The sage is dipped in that. Okay, so releasing any of that. You could have some slip-ups at this time with paperwork, contracts, emails, especially other communication that's happening on your devices. Any communication that is kind of linked with technology, that could be tricky at this time. So just try to double check those before sending an email. Just double check it. Double, triple, quadruple check. So now let's start our manifestations. Okay. So I have some stones here. So if you are looking to call in any energy related to those relationships in your life, I want to offer up support for that now. So what would that perfect community look like to you? What would it feel like? How would it show up in your life? How would it feel to have that support? What would you be receiving? What could you be giving? Thinking about the balance when it comes to this community. All of the different aspects that you want to manifest when it comes to a beautiful, supportive community of friends or any kind of relationship. This could even be a romantic relationship. Any kind of connection with another person. Anything that's going to require diplomacy or tact or grace with another. Some delicacy and sensitivity toward their experience and communicating your own. Really calling in this Libra energy to help you find that balance. So, yeah, how do you want that to feel? How do you want these relationships to feel? How can you invite more balance and alignment into the relationships that exist in your life? How can you invite more gentleness, more support for your romantic relationships or your relationships at work, your partnerships? How can you invite more sweetness, that sweetness of the fruit into those relationships? Kind of ripening a relationship through inviting in a sense of vulnerability, trust when it comes to listening, trust when it comes to actions aligning with words. How can you invite in that sweetness of the fruit and also maintaining your own sense of integrity, your own sense of justice? So how can you invite that sense of grace and diplomacy without being a fence sitter, with also having your principled stance on things? So just kind of inviting these kind of aspects as we're manifesting here. And you can manifest anything you want for any new moon, obviously. And now inviting in any manifestations that you might have for those personal goals that you've been working through. What's anything that you want to kind of focus on when it comes to those personal goals, when it comes to trying to align with those goals? And now anything that you want to manifest when it comes to your personal development, self-improvement. I know we talked about personal goals. This is that kind of next step of how we can invite a balance when it comes to loving ourselves exactly where we are in the process, and also inviting motivation for self-improvement. Kind of talked about this, especially during our last new moon live stream, which was more focused on that, but just kind of following up with that energy and making sure that we have a sense of follow through when it comes to those goals that we really want to achieve. So I'd love to hear what you're working on personally. I'd love to send support for that manifestation. We've done the activation symbol. I set up this space energetically and set the intention before the session so that I could send that energy to you and we could just jump right in. But just know that I'm sending you so much support and so much love in your journey here. So what are those things? What are those aspects of self that you're, after reflection, realizing that you want to invite more of? Some stones that I have here as you're continuing to write your manifestations. I love using Shivalingam for balance. I think this is a great stone for balance. And I think that's really what this Libran energy is all about. You'll have to excuse me, my voice is a little rough. Like I said, I've had kind of a tough time the past few weeks. I wanted to invite some balance with this, the confidence of this tiger's eye, this raw tiger's eye, that confidence, grounded confidence, and that compassion of this rose quartz and this rhodonite, that compassion and acceptance. And then I have clear quartz to amplify, and I have my amethyst for that spiritual alignment, that higher self. But I like to use stones like, that are kind of opposites, and thinking about the harmony that's created when these two are kind of put side by side. Let's have another sip here. But we have two, sort of opposing stones. Not opposing stones, but this stone is raw, the tiger's eye. It's got a very punchy energy. It's very activating. And then this rose quartz is so supportive and nurturing. So trying to hold both of those things. And I think that's what this Libra energy can really help us with. Being confident in our conviction, speaking up for ourselves, speaking the truth, and also having compassion for others as we speak our truth, and compassion for ourselves. So it's that confidence and that compassion combined. I'm doing a little meditation where you hold these in your hands, two stones like that, one raw, one polished. That can be really helpful. Properties that you want to call in. But journaling during a retrograde can be really helpful, not just during the new moons like we usually do, but it can be really helpful so that we can revisit it next time and see where we are in that cycle. I find these retrogrades to be really cyclical, and it's really a chance to break a cycle, to kind of burst free from a pattern of behavior. So that's, I think, really helpful. I would expect delays and wonky communication and technological snafus. And just, track how you're moving through it, how you're moving through all of it. Track how you're feeling, how you're reacting, how you're responding, and try your best if you can to invite a sense of patience and even a lightheartedness to this somewhat chaotic time. And if you're able to do that, that's an indication of real growth and alignment. So I wanted to pull 2 cards before we say goodbye, just for fun. I'm going to pull a card from our Lenormand deck. So what guidance, let me move these actually. Just going to place a little grid here. And then what guidance do my lovely friends need to hear for this new moon in Libra 2021? What guidance? What messages do my beautiful friends need to hear for this time? What messages do my beautiful friends need to receive? Okay. Ooh. This is going to be a lucky month for you. Luck, prosperity, abundance. You're going to break through blockages. This is going to be a time of gifts. And the message here is to be open to them. Recognize a gift when it comes. Recognize a blessing, which is a beautiful part of doing a gratitude list. This is the Lord. Ooh, can you see? This is the Lord card. So this is supportive of those decisions. Libra energy can sometimes have a tough time with decisions, can have, creeping self-doubt from time to time. So this is a really important time to, self-doubt can really creep in here. So we can try our best to use this as an opportunity to solidify what we know to be true, rather than to slip into that kind of unruly quagmire of self-doubt at this time. And this Lord card really supports that kind of decisive energy, that leadership quality, that confidence, pairing that with like a little tiger's eye could be really helpful. That confident energy of a leader. Leaders are tactful, leaders are diplomatic, So tapping into that energy, I love it. And the letter. This is all about manifesting, writing down your dreams. So yeah, absolutely. In this new moon, manifest your greatest desires and be aware of them when they present themselves to you. Don't let opportunities pass you by. Beautiful. Trust in your decisive nature. Trust in that confident, decisive nature. And write down your manifestations. Perform some rituals. Yep, we're doing it. Okay, love it. Then just one more pull. With our oracle deck, this is our druid animal oracle. All right, here we go. These are really large cards. Any messages for our friends on this new moon in Libra 2021? Any messages for our friends? Any messages here? Okay. The eagle, the bear, and the otter. Eagle, bear, and otter. Okay. Let's see, I'm actually not fully familiar with this deck yet, like I am the Lenormand. Okay, so there's the bear. have our little booklet here. Sometimes I read booklets and sometimes I don't, depending on which deck it is, but I'm gonna read this. Eagle? Yeah. This is intelligence, renewal, and courage. So this could be a great time to make decisions. It says use clarity and objectivity. Clarity and objectivity. Make decisions. So we have that confirmation. And then the bear. Primal power, sovereignty, intuition, and instinct balance. I love that. That's so Libra, isn't it? This is the primal mother. You are a defender from danger. Your intuition will never fail you. This is so Libra, isn't it? That clarity, that, So this is a card of a spiritual warrior. You're a spiritual warrior, my friends. And then we have the otter, which is my spirit animal. I have a cool otter story that maybe we'll share sometime. All right. Joy, play, and helpfulness, the spirit of going with the flow. Going with the flow of life. I love that. Absolutely. Joy, play, and helpfulness. You are truly protected. That's what this card is really about. You are protected and safe to play, to go with the flow. I love it. So like we were saying at this time, go with the flow, invite a sense of patience and play if you're able, and that can really be a great indication of your strength and development in your personal journey. Well, that was great. I love that. I love when those cards align so much. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a real honor connecting with you, even though we're doing this a little bit different this time. I hope you enjoyed this session, this little hangout, and let me know if this is something you'd like to do in the future. I'm sending you all a huge, huge hug, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. Until I see you again, be so, so, so well. Okay. Can you come up on the pillow? She just wants cuddles. Come on, Mama. For today's video, I just wanted to do a little chakra activation. And just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But this is a new kind of video for me. I usually speak directly to the collective instead of the individual, so that always happens when I'm trying to do it like a perspective. Maybe your perspective on things is a little clouded at the moment. I'm not sure if that resonates with you, but that's what I'm getting here. I love metallic sounds. There's like clicky clacky sounds, but it does have kind of a funny smell. I'm not gonna lie, when I first used it I was like, what is that? But amethyst is a really great spiritually aligned stone. It can help with clarity, mental fog, really helps us see soberly. Invite some more mindfulness and some of this energy work that we've been engaging in.